Team Rivalry Reaction.
How's it going, football fans of the Big Ten persuasion? Big Ten. Big Ten persuasion. Man, off to a great start. This is the final video in the Big Ten recruiting class reaction series that we're doing, and the only reason we're doing a series is because I end up rambling so much that we had to chop up each video into, different videos because they just got too long. So, today's classes, or the classes for this particular video, since I've actually recorded two of these in one day, are Penn State and Ohio State. Now, I'm just going to say right off the bat here, this video is probably going to be a little bit shorter than the other ones because I don't really care about Ohio State and Penn State as much. Not going to lie. I just don't. Not that I care about the other teams more, except for maybe Michigan. It's just these classes are pretty self-explanatory. I'm just kidding. I'll cover these with the same amount of vigor and interest as I do all of the other teams. That's not at all true, but I'll give it my best try. So, Penn State, the old Fighting James Franklins. That's, they've won the Big Ten once, I think. They've been to the Big Ten championship, I think, twice. Now that I'm saying all this, I should probably look that up and see if I'm correct about that. Let's see, real quick. 2016 was 11-3. They won the Big Ten championship in 2016 against Wisconsin, 38-31. So who they must have? That was the year they beat Ohio State. Oh yeah, that's right. I went to this game, the Michigan game. They lost 49-10. What a crap year for Michigan. It was a great year, but that was the year that we lost in OT against Ohio State, or Michigan lost in OT against Ohio State. I wasn't on the field, but I was rooting really hard. That was the game that JT Barrett was actually short, but they gave him the first down anyway, and then Ohio State ended up winning the game. And fight me. So, yeah, Penn State gets blown out by Michigan and somehow loses to Pitt and then reclaims their season and trashes everyone else for the most part on their way to a Big Ten championship against number 6 Wisconsin, which is just kind of wild. So, and then they lose to Southern Cal USC in the Rose Bowl, which not a bad game, although it looks like their defense didn't show up, so there's that. So they won the Big Ten championship that year, and then did they win it this year? No, looks like they didn't, but they did win the Fiesta Bowl against number 11 Washington, so good on them for that. They did, however, beat Michigan by quite a bit. I was actually in Pittsburgh while this game was happening, and it was depressing as all heck. And then a couple of bad years. 2019 was a good year, but I think they lost to Michigan that year. Wait, nope, hold up. They beat Michigan. They beat everybody except for Minnesota and Ohio State, which left them with a Holiday Bowl appearance against Memphis, yada, yada, yada. So, my original point being that the Fighting James Franklins have indeed done somewhat well under James Franklin. Now, they don't have as many Big Ten championships since the championship game was invented. They don't have as many Big Ten championships as Michigan, so we can officially say that Penn State is the proud owner of third place in the Big Ten hierarchy. Will that change this year? Maybe. I actually think it's their best shot to change that this year. I think that this is actually probably their best shot at winning the Big Ten. But from my perspective, I don't know that that's saying a lot, okay? Because a lot of the issues that I've seen with a James Franklin-led football team, especially at Penn State, are in some of those big games, they tend to flutter. For instance, let's go to, you can hit next season. This is all on the teamrivalry.com website, by the way. So you go up onto the website, teamrivalry.com, go to the top here, click on, actually, if you go to the home page, the icon will just be there and you can click on them and then scroll through their seasons. But this being all said, so this is what I'm talking about. This was a good season. So 11-2. They beat Purdue on the road. Purdue was not a bad team, and they ended up going to the Big Ten championship. They blow out Ohio. They blow out Auburn. Auburn's not a good team, but it's an SEC team, and blowing out an SEC team is definitely a good thing to do. Central Michigan, little lackluster, but they still got them. Northwestern, little lackluster. But Ohio State also had a lackluster game, so I'm going to give Penn State a pass here. This game, though. Now, I get it. Michigan was on a mission. They have Corum. They have Edwards. They had McCarthy. You know, Penn State really couldn't do much in the second half. That's fine. Penn State was still a good team, though, so this is probably an unacceptable performance as far as the fans are concerned. Well, it's definitely. If this happened to Michigan, I would say this is unacceptable. So I'm saying that's unacceptable. Minnesota, on the other hand, that's a good bounce back. This is the game that I would start tearing my hair out, though, because if you lose the one game, then maybe you've got the head-to-head against Ohio State to knock Michigan out of the way should Michigan lose to Ohio State and maybe one other team. This is the game where you had a lead at one point, if I'm not mistaken. You had them dead to rights at a couple of points if you could just, finish the game. But then defense falls apart, or probably it was a combination of defense falling apart and Ohio State's offense figuring things out. And any shot at the Big Ten just goes bye-bye. You roll through the rest of your schedule. Indiana was close, that's fine, but the rest of the games are pretty simple. And then you beat a really good Utah team in the Rose Bowl by a couple of scores while setting a couple of Rose Bowl records along the way. This was a good team. And a lot of this team is coming back in 2023, and they're adding a good class to it. Number 13. They're adding a former Michigan level class to it. Like we just got finished talking about in the last video, Michigan's class was 6 places lower than their usual finish over the past couple of years. So Michigan has a number 19 class, and normally they're in the 9 to 12 range, 9 to 13 or so. And so this is an interesting class then to look at. So obviously this is dependent on whether or not they'll have, an immediate impact. Penn State has a good team coming back. They didn't really lose a ton. It'll be interesting to see how Drew Allar, this guy's name is King Mac. That's amazing. It's because my name is Mackenzie, but I go by Mac sometimes. So King Mac. This is already my favorite player on Penn State's team. Congratulations, King Mac. You have my approval. What was I just saying? Oh, crap. So Penn State already has a lot of talent coming back, so it'll be interesting if this recruiting class can have an immediate impact. Then Penn State's going to have a really good season, and obviously we have to see how that translates on the field. But I feel like you can be pretty confident in what your team is going to be doing this year. So let's just go through this real quick. We're already 8 minutes in, so I'll go fast. Javon Williams, he's a 6'4", 285 offensive tackle. Nice, good get there. Alex Birchmeyer, 6'5", 285. 4-star inside-outside lineman. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what this means. We just talked about that in the last video. Whoever can tell me what that means, you will get my everlasting respect and admiration, and that is it. Take with that what you will. Tony Rojas, he's 6'1.5", 200-pound linebacker. Little short, I think. No, that's a good size. That's a good size. Yeah, that should be all right for a linebacker. Elliot Washington from Florida. Why is he going up to the snowy mountains of Penn State? I don't know. Maybe they have good academics. 6 foot, 195-pound safety. He is a 4-star. Tamir Robinson, 6'4", 225, 4-star edge rusher. Joey Schlaffer, I think. Tight end, 6'6", nice and tall. 215, good frame. 4-star tight end. He's going to be pretty good. Anthony Dunco, don't know what this means. 6'5", 310-pound 4-star, I don't know, inside-outside lineman. I'm not sure, but boy, oh boy, is he a big guy. If he's got some power underneath him, he could do some damage. Matthias Barnwell, athlete, 6'6", 250, 4-star. Zion Tracy, cornerback, 5'11", 180 pounds. Probably good and speedy, I would think. Lamont Payne, cornerback, 6'1", 170, 3-star, and Jackson Smolik, I think. Yeah. Quarterback, 6'2", 200 pounds, 3-star. Interesting. He is from Des Moines. Iowa. So Penn State was able to steal him from Iowa. That's interesting. wonder what kind of style of play he is, because Iowa, I think I mentioned at one point Iowa is like a pro style offense. They're not entirely pro style, but I really don't know what to call them, so I'm just going to say that they're more traditional. So I'm betting that this just probably wasn't a good fit with what Iowa's doing. Although I don't know that it's, well, I have no idea who this kid is or how he plays, so I guess that'll be interesting to watch, but I don't know. King Mack, my favorite player on Penn State's team ever. 5'11", 180-pound safety. He's a 4-star. We got Andrew Raplia. Ooh, Andrew Raplia. That's an interesting name. Raplia. Tight end, 6'5", 225. Solid frame right there. 4-star. Dakari Nelson, safety, 6'3", 203. He's nice and tall. He'll probably be a matchup nightmare for some shorter wide receivers around the Big Ten. That'll be interesting to watch. Jameel Lyons, I think. Edge rusher, 6'4", 255. Ooh, big guy. Little heavy too, so he'll be difficult to stop. 4-star edge rusher. Chimdi Ono, offensive tackle, 6'5", 270. Man, they got a big line coming in. Kavion Keys, linebacker, 6'3", 205. That's a solid frame for a linebacker, I think. Camarlo Taylor, wide receiver, 5'11", 160, 4-star. I feel like 5'11 is kind of short for a wide receiver, honestly. I mean, because you look at some of the guys from down south, and they're like 6'3", 6'4", that kind of thing. Like, they've got a solid frame. I don't know. Sometimes it almost looks like they're playing like defensive linemen as their wide receivers. Like, they're big, but they're also fast somehow. I don't know. Joseph Mapoyi, maybe? Mapoyi, I think. Edge rusher, 6'5", 230. Nice solid frame there. London Montgomery, running back, 5'10", 180. Mason Robinson, defensive line, 6'4", 230. Solid frame. Tariq Blanding, defensive lineman, 6'3", 275. Good frame there as well. Yeah, he's an inch shorter than Mason Robinson, but he's got 45 pounds on him. So I wonder how that'll work out. That'll be an interesting position competition to watch. Cameron Wallace, athlete, 6 foot, 180 pounds. And then they've got some transfers coming in. They have a 3-star wide receiver transfer from Florida State, 4-star wide receiver from Kent State, 4-star cornerback from North Carolina, and a 2-star punter from Florida Atlantic. Interesting class. Very interesting class. It'll be cool to see how this team does this year. Oops. Let's go. All right. Now moving to Ohio State, 'cause I'm already almost 13 minutes in. This is ridiculous. How do I get stuck talking about teams I don't care about for so long? This is just stupid. Ohio State's coming in with another epic high school class. Oh my goodness. All right. They've got a 5-star, 5'11", 198-pound wide receiver, Brandon Innes from American Heritage, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Man, this is a solid get for a school that already has wide receiver on wide receiver on wide receiver. So I'm going to hide these ads because that's awkward. I don't know if you saw what that ad was for. One of those ads was for, but it was really weird looking. So I'm just, yeah. Jermaine, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So for a school, it's back. See, this is what I hate Google. Stop, Google. Go away. Ad was inappropriate. There we go. For a school that has so many wide receivers, this is a really good get. Now let's see what else we've got here. Jermaine Matthews, cornerback. So it's a nice defensive ad here. He's 4 stars. Noah Rogers, another 4-star. Oh, Carnell Tate, 4-star wide receiver. So Noah Rogers and Carnell Tate, couple of wide receivers, 4 stars. Calvin Simpson Hunt from Waxahachie, Texas. Ooh, he's a cornerback. He's a 4-star. So Jason Moore, defensive line, 4-star. Luke Montgomery, 4-star. Jalen Thurman, 4-star, tight end. Joshua Mickens, edge rusher, 4-star. Malik Hartford, 4-star. Lincoln Keinholz, 4-star. Ooh, quarterback. Interesting. Arvell Reese, linebacker, 4-star. Joshua Padilla, inside-outside lineman. I don't know what this means. I need to know what this means. 4-star. Will Smith. It's not his fault, but that's awesome. All right. There you go. Will Smith, defensive line, 4-star, 6'3", 260. Solid frame. Caden McDonald, a defensive lineman, 6'3", 310. Oof, jeez. Jaden Bonsu, safety, 6'1", 210, and he's a 4-star. So we're still in the 4 stars. Jeez. Austin Siriveld, I think. Don't know what that is. 6'5", 320. Wow, big guy coming in. Cedric Hawkins, 4-star safety. Bryson Rogers, a 4-star wide receiver. Miles Walker, a 3-star tackle. So just one 3-star on this team for a team that has over the years shown that they can develop talent, and they've got some seriously good talent coming in. Lots of defense coming in, but also a heavy emphasis on wide receiver and cornerbacks, a couple of edge rushers. Interesting. I'll be interested to see how this quarterback battle goes. Obviously, he's probably not going to get a lot of playing time in his freshman year with Kyle McCord, and then I can't remember who the other quarterback is right now. They've got a quarterback battle going on, so this guy's probably not going to have a huge impact this season. But I'll be interested to see if maybe he bulks up a little bit, because he is a little light, I think. Maybe not. I'm really not sure what a good weight is for a quarterback, but I feel like if you're mobile, you want to be a little bit lighter, but not that light, because especially if you've got, this guy coming at you, 310 pounds, tackling a 182-pound guy. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Lincoln here is tough, but, I mean, I weigh about 40 pounds more than nope, I weigh 30 pounds more than Lincoln, and I'm not fat. I do work out. I lift weights, but I would still probably wet my pants if I saw, Jaden Bonsu. Nope. Sorry, Caden McDonald or Austin Sreveld coming at me. If either of these guys tried to tackle me, I'd probably wet my pants and then cry and then ask them to not. So, who they got in transfers? John Furlman, left safety. He was a no-star. Interesting. I don't know what I think left safety, or I'm not sure what that is. Davison Igbinosun. Yeah, I think I got that right. He's a cornerback. He's a 4-star from Ole Miss. That's a good get. So that was, yeah. I remember they were talking about that. There was a story on that. That was a huge get for Ohio State on defense, especially with with Ohio State's defense having given up a lot of big plays last season, specifically to Michigan, and then Penn State I think had a lot of long plays as well. But obviously everybody's going to remember the Michigan ones because that's, the game they want to win. Victor Cutler, a 2-star offensive tackle from Louisiana Monroe, 6'3", 302 with some development. That is a good frame. So that'll be good for them. Tristan Gebbia, a 3-star quarterback out of Oregon State, 6'3", 210. See, 6'3", 210 I feel like is a solid frame for a quarterback. But now, if he's that heavy and he's a little tall, does that mean, and 210 is not that heavy. Okay, like, he's not fat. I don't mean fat heavy. I just mean, like, heavy as in, like, literally if I'm assuming it's all muscle mass, but, like, is he that mobile? So is it, if you start getting into the low 200s as a quarterback, does that hinder your mobility? Actually, that's a good question. Let's see. Patrick Mahomes would be a good height, 6'2", weight 225, and he runs like the wind. He's a very mobile quarterback. Really good. Also, congratulations, Chiefs, on winning the Super Bowl. I was kind of hoping Philadelphia would win, but I really don't care either way, so nice job. But he's a good mobile quarterback, and he weighs 225. So this guy, where'd he go? Lincoln Kienholz, I feel like needs to put on some weight, but he can put on weight and still be mobile. So then this guy, where'd he go? Tristan Gebbia here is 210, that he could still be mobile. Now, he did lose a star, so maybe he's not playing very well, but he could still be a good mobile quarterback. And the reason I'm putting an emphasis on that is because Ohio State really values their mobile quarterbacks. I mean, that was one of the huge knocks against C.J. Stroud, was that he was not a mobile quarterback. Now, most of the time, he didn't need to be because he wasn't playing Michigan every week. Michigan had his number. I don't mean to be like, I don't mean to be a huge Michigan fanboy while trying to discuss the Buckeyes right here, but like that was one of the reasons why Michigan was able to win that game is because Stroud Stroud played extremely well with his arm, but not being a mobile quarterback really hindered them in that game. So this will be interesting to watch to see if how Tristan Gebbia develops and if he can be mobile, and then if Lincoln Kienholz can be mobile as well, but maybe a little bit heavier. Because right now I think he's a little too light, but we'll see. Maybe not. I don't know. Last but not least, Jihad Carter. He is a 4-star safety from Syracuse. He gained a star, so nice job on that. He's 6 foot, good and tall. I'll have to figure out how tall is a good how tall should a cornerback be, or a safety? Like, someone on defense whose main task would probably be defending against the pass, especially a downfield pass. Although if you have somebody break a big run against you, then you're going to want to be mobile, but you're also going to want to be heavy, because a lot of times running backs can be a bit heavier. I'm thinking specifically of like a Hassan Haskins. So that'll be interesting to see. Anyway, lots of interesting things going on in the Big Ten. It'll be really cool to see how these recruiting classes develop over the next few years. Definitely interested to see how everybody does. But that is the end of our recruiting coverage, I guess you could say, or recruiting analysis. So let us know in the comments section what you think about our takes. Were they trash? Were they spot on? Probably not, but you can let us know your opinion down there. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Team Rivalry Reaction.